Hello, hi everyone, welcome back to KRP Creative Physics. So in this particular video, we are going to learn one interesting topic. The name of the topic is difference between speed and velocity, and including with this, we are going to learn so many interesting problems related to speed as well as velocity. Okay friends, let's enter into the topic here. So before going to know about speed and velocity, so once again I am reminding everyone that please watch my channel, and when you are going to watch any video, you should watch full video. Why? Because it is not an entertainment, so it is a knowledge, and that too we are going to learn physics. So that is my special request to all the students and all the viewers of my channel here. And with that, subscribe my channel and press the bell icon. You will get the notifications and updates from my channel, and share my channel to all your friends and students you know. So this is what I want to say here. So let's move on to the topic here. So first we will see speed. Okay, we are going to learn about speed. So what is meant by speed here? How can we define the speed? Speed is said to be distance covered by the object in a particular time. So or else distance by time. So now I am going to write speed equal to what here? Distance by time. So this is the simple principle to find the speed. So speed equal to, very simple, distance covered by the object in a given time or in a unit time. Unit means 1 second. Okay. So speed equal to distance by time. This is regarding speed. So let's move on to the velocity here. So how can we define velocity here? So velocity is defined as rate of change of displacement. How can we define the velocity? Rate of change of displacement, or else simple way, displacement covered by the object in a unit time. The amount of displacement covered by the object in a given time is said to be velocity. So now I am going to write the principle for velocity here. How can we write the velocity? Formula for velocity. Velocity equal to displacement by time. That's it. Displacement by time. So this is the principle or formula to find velocity. Okay na? So these are the definitions of speed and velocity. Okay friends. Now we are going to learn the differences between speed and velocity. Let's see the differences here. First we will consider speed. So how can we define the speed? Speed here, distance covered by the object. Distance covered by the object in unit time. Okay na? So that is the definition. Distance covered by the object in unit time is said to be speed. So next, if we consider velocity, how can we define the velocity here? The amount of displacement covered by the object in a given time or in a unit time. Now I am going to write here displacement covered by the object. Displacement covered by the object in unit time is said to be velocity. So definitions are completed here. Everyone know about this one. Okay. After the completion of definition, simply how can we write the speed here? How can we calculate the speed? Speed equals to distance by time. Just now I said this one. Speed equal to distance by time. So how can we find velocity here? Velocity equal to displacement by time. Displacement by time. So this is a second difference. Okay. So let's move on to the third difference between speed and velocity. So if we consider third difference, it is very, very important here. Speed is a scalar quantity. What is that? It is a scalar quantity. And velocity is a vector quantity. So it is a vector quantity. So why? Because why the speed is considered scalar quantity here? Speed is independent of direction. It is not going to dependent on direction. So that's why speed is a scalar quantity. And that too, this is a scalar. Speed depends on distance. So distance is a scalar. That's why speed is also considered as scalar quantity. And what about here velocity here? So if we consider velocity, absolutely velocity is considered as vector quantity. Why? Because velocity is completely depends on displacement. So as we know that displacement is a vector quantity, so velocity is also considered as vector quantity. And so when we are going to represent speed, we don't need to mention any direction. Okay, na? But when we are going to represent the velocity, definitely we have to mention its direction. Why? Because it is dependent on velocity, and that too it is a vector quantity. This is what you should keep in your mind. Okay, so let's learn the next difference here after the completion of 3 differences. And number 4 is that average speed. So what is my average speed here? Average speed is very simple. Total distance covered by the object in a total time. So it is a ratio between total distance and total time. So average speed cannot become 0. This is what you should remember. Average speed does not become 0. It is always positive. So in which case it is always positive here? In case of moving objects. I am speaking about only moving objects. Okay, na? So in case of moving objects, average speed does not become 0. And what about velocity here? Average velocity we will consider. So what is average velocity here? The total displacement covered by the object in a total time. It is a ratio between total displacement by total time. Simple. So average velocity, that is the meaning of average velocity. So average velocity may become 0. It may become 0. So when average velocity becomes 0 here, when displacement becomes 0, 0 by something is 0. You know that one very well. So when the total displacement becomes 0, average velocity may also become 0. Okay. And let's learn the next difference here. That is the 5th one. So if we consider the 5th one here, we consider the 5th difference. Speed is always positive. It is always positive. It does not become negative value. So next, if we consider the velocity, velocity may becomes positive or else negative. It may becomes positive or else negative. So it may becomes positive or negative. So why? Because it is depends on direction. If the object is moving in opposite direction, velocity may become negative in that particular situation. So next we will learn the last difference here, units. So here, so just you observe this formula here. Speed equal to distance by time. Distance is measured in meters. Time is measured in seconds. So meters per second. And here also displacement is measured in meters and time is measured in seconds. So the units are in SI system, if we consider meter per second. So here also in SI system, meters per second. And if we consider CGS system, centimeters per second. So here also centimeters per second. So these are the very, very important differences between speed as well as velocity. Everyone should know about the differences between speed and velocity. That's why I am teaching this particular topic. Okay, now I am going to explain some key points. These are all very, very important points. As you are going to observe on the board here, these are all very, very important points. These particular points are very, very important in all competitive exams, even IIT JEE exams also. Okay, keep in your mind, listen with concentration. So if we observe the first point, distance is always greater than or equal to displacement. So why? Because you know that displacement is the shortest path, it is the largest path. So this is what you should remember. So when this both the terms becomes equal means when the object is moving in a straight line path, they may become equal. But in all the remaining cases, distance is greater than displacement. Okay, this is what you should keep in your mind. This is very, very, very important point. And let's move on to the second point here. The ratio between distance and displacement is also always greater than or equal to 1. So why? Because so just now as we see the relation between distance and displacement, numerator is somewhat big compared to denominator displacement. So that's why the ratio will equal to greater than or equal to 1. And let's move on to the third point here. Displacement by distance, it is quite reverse. Okay, the ratio between displacement by distance is always less than or equal to 1. Less than or equal to 1. Okay, this is what also you should keep in your mind. Why? Because displacement is somewhat less compared to distance. Okay, so in that case it is less than. So if object is moving in a straight line path, it may becomes equal. So that's why less than or equal. Okay, and last point is very, very important here. If we consider speed and velocity, speed is always greater than or equal to velocity. So that means speed will be more. It will be more or else it will be equal. Okay, na? So when speed and velocity becomes equal, the object has to move in the straight line path, and when the object is moving in the straight line path, both distance and displacement will be same, and the ratio with respect to time is also same. So that's why how can we say here speed is greater than or equal to velocity. So these four things, 4 points are very, very important in all competitive exams. Keep in your mind, everyone should remember these points. So after the completion of key points, so let's move on to the most interesting numerical problems. For all these particular numerical problems are very, very helpful in all competitive exams. So let's learn the numerical problems here. So let's learn the first numerical problem here. So this is the given diagram. So here an object. So O. So object is there. Initial position of the object is A. It is at A. So the path traveled by the object is in this way. So this is the path traveled by the object. So this particular object is starting from A and it is moving on to B and C and D, finally reaching A. So okay. So this is the path followed by the object, and total path followed by the object. So it takes 3 seconds to reach point A again. So here total time here, according to the given information, total time T equal to 3 seconds. So what is asking from this particular diagram? First we need to find the speed. So we need to find the speed here. So we are going to find the speed. As we know that speed equal to what? Distance by time. Speed equal to distance by time. So let's find out the distance first. Already we know the time, that's why. So what is the distance here? From A we need to calculate. From A to B how much here? 4. So here I am going to calculate the distance. A to B 4. And B to C how much? 8. And C to D how much? Again 4. And last D to A 8 meters. So this is the total path covered by the object. That is nothing but distance. We know that one very well. So 4 plus 8 how much here? 12. 12 plus 4 how much? 16. 16 plus 8 how much here? 24. So that is the distance here. 24 meters is the distance. Okay. So now I am going to substitute the value in this particular principle. 24 meters by time how much here? 3 seconds. So we know that 3 1s are 3 8s are. So what is the answer here? Answer speed equal to 8 meters per second. So that is the answer. So in this way we can calculate the speed here. So let's move on to the velocity here. If we consider the velocity, so as we know that velocity equal to displacement by time. Displacement by time. You know that one very well. So from the diagram it is very clearly know that, so object is starting from A, again it is reaching A. So that means in case of this particular figure, initial position and final position of the object will be same. So what is the displacement of the object in this particular during this example here? So it is again reaching the same position, means displacement is 0. Shortest path, A to A shortest path is 0. Again it is reaching the same point. So when displacement becomes 0, so displacement becomes 0. Time means 3 seconds. So 0 by something how much? 0. So velocity is 0 meters per second. So that is the answer for this particular diagram. So speed equal to how much? 8 meters per second, and velocity equal to displacement by time. So here in this particular question, object is coming to the same position. So displacement is 0. 0 by something is 0. So velocity becomes 0. And this is regarding the first numerical problem. Okay. Okay, my dear students, let's move on to the next numerical problem here. This is a second numerical problem. This is very, very important question. Quite different, mostly different from remaining numerical problems here. So first we will see the question. A car covers 2 by 5th of total distance. 2 by 5th of total distance at V1 speed. Okay, na? And 3 by 5th of distance. 3 by 5th of distance at V2 speed. Find its average speed. Okay, na? So first we need to draw the diagram to find the solution here. First I am going to draw the diagram for the simplification of the question. So we are dividing this one into 3 parts, A, B and C. So here this in this particular question, total distance is divided into 2 parts. So for that sake I am assuming that total distance from A to C is S. Total distance is considered as S, okay, for our convenience. So what is saying in the question here, a car covers 2 by 5th of its total distance. So A to B is considered as 2 by 5th. So what is the total distance here? S, 2 by 5th of total distance. So with how much speed here? V1. Okay, this is completed. And next remaining distance how much is given here? 3 by 5th. 3 by 5 into S. So this particular remaining distance, it is moving with a speed of V2. Okay, so I think now you are able to understand the clear question, your total question. So first 2 by 5th distance with v1 speed, next to 3 by 5th distance with v2 speed, and we are assuming that total distance is s. So now we need to find average velocity, average speed, sorry. So what is the principle to find average speed here? I'm going to write here. So average speed equals to total distance by total time. So this is the formula. Total distance by total time. Okay, na? So we know we already know the total distance. Total distance is s, but we need to find total time. So how can we calculate the total time here? From A to B, time is considered as t1. We are considering as A to B. To travel A to B, it takes t1 time. To travel from B to C, it takes t2 time. Okay, na? So just I am going to use the fundamental formula here. So everyone know that speed equal to distance by time. Then what about time here? How can we find the time here? Time equal to distance by, time equal to what here? Distance by speed. So this formula I am going to use. Okay, na? So time equal to, as we know that time equal to distance by speed. Now we are going to write the equation for V1. Sorry, V1, not V1, T1. Time T1. So how can we find the T1 here? So T1 equal to distance by speed. So what is the distance here from A to B? What is the distance? 2 by 5s. So that is the distance. So what about its particular speed here from A to B? Speed is considered as V1. Okay, no? So this is the value of T1 here. So in the same way, so how can we find T2 here? T2 equal to what here? So T2, this is a T2. So what is the distance in case of T2 here from B to C? 3 by 5 into S by, so what about the speed in case of B to C? V2. So in this way we can write here. So if we simplify this particular two equations, how can we write here? So this particular 5 will go to denominator side. So overall what we can write? 2s by 5v1. So that is a T1 value, sorry. T1 equal to what here? 2s by 5v1. So similarly T2 equal to how much here? Just to observe here. 3s by 5v2. 3s by 5 will go to denominator side. 5v2. So we got T1 and T2. So finally what we need to find here? Total time we need to calculate. So total time is nothing but total time T equal to T1 plus T2. Both the times we need to add. Okay. So now I am going to substitute the T1 value here. So what we got here? 2s by 5v1. 2s by 5v1. Similarly T2 equal to how much here? 3s by 5v2. 3s by 5v2. Okay. So we need to simplify this one here again. Okay. So if we observe these two terms, what are the common here? What are the common terms? S by 5 is common. So I am going to commonly S by 5. S by 5. Okay, na? S by 5. So after making the S by 5 common here, what is the remaining terms here? 2 by V1. 2 by V1. And what about the next term? In next term, what we have remaining here? 3 by V2. 3 by V2. So this is the value of total time. So we know that total distance is S. Total time is this one. So if we substitute these two values in this particular formula, then we can find the average speed. Okay. Formula here. Average speed equal to, so average speed equals to what? Total distance by total time. So we know that we assumed that total distance is S. What about total time here? S by 5 of 2 by V1 plus 3 by V2. So if we simplify this particular equation, speed. So here S gets cancelled and we need to do the LCM here, remaining term. So here 1 by 5 I am going to write as it is. So this is all. Overall numerator is 1 here. So what is the LCM here? V1, V2 is the LCM. So here V1 is already there, means 2V2 plus 3V1. Okay na? So 1 by 5 into 2v2 plus 3v1 by v1 v2. So after the simplification, so we'll get here, so what we can write here, 5v1 v2, this is the denominator part, so it will go to upside. I am going to rearrange this particular equation. So this particular equation can be written as 5, just try to observe here, in the denominator part what we have, 5 into v1 into v2, it will go to upside. So after rearranging this particular equation, so what is the answer, 5v1 v2 by remaining term 2v2 plus 3v1. So this is the average speed of this particular object. Okay na? So this kind of problems are very important. So everyone should concentrate on these particular problems here. That's why I am asking everyone to watch the complete video. Okay na? Then only you can learn total topics. Okay friends, after the completion of 2 different numerical problems, let's learn to the third numerical problem. This is the last and most important and interesting problem, most important for everyone. Okay, try to learn this one. So let's see the question before going to all that. So this is the diagram here, this is a given diagram. From this diagram, this is a given information, a particle starting from A. So this is starting from A, this is the initial position. Okay, traveling to B, so it is traveling from A to B, he is saying, at a speed of s. So this is a speed at this region, this is a speed here, A to B, speed is s, and then up to C. Up to C means what here, B to C here, don't confuse. So it is moving from B to C at a speed of 2s. So this is the speed here in this particular, between B to C, 2s is the speed. Okay, and next finally up to A, that means what here, C to A again. So it is moving from C to A. Okay, from C to A, how much speed is it going here? 3s speed. So that means continuously speed is increasing here. A to B speed is s, B to C speed is 2s, again C to A 3s speed. So based on this particular given information, we need to find average speed. So that is the question. So we need to find average speed here. So what is the principle first of all to find average speed here? Average speed equal to what here? Total distance by total time. Total distance by total time. Okay, right. So this is a complete circle, amma. It is moving from, starting from A, again it is coming to A. So what is the total distance traveled by this particle here? It is very simple. Total distance equal to circumference of the circle. So easily we can write total distance. Total distance equal to what here? Circumference of circle. This is a circular path. So what is the principle to find circumference of the circle? Everyone know that is 2 pi r. So we got total distance, that is 2 pi r. Okay, total distance we got. So again what we need to find here in the like previous problem, we need to find total distance. Total time. So how can we get the total time? For that sake, we are assuming that A to B, to travel A to B, time is T1. To travel B to C, time is T2. We are assuming that. To travel from C to A, time considered as T3. So total time means what here? Total time equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3. We need to find the total time with the help of this principle. And after getting the total time, substitute that value in the given principle. So that is a method. So first we will consider here, first you should know we are going to represent these values in terms of radians. In terms of radians. Why? Because here pi is there. So we need to convert these angles into in terms of pi, radians. Okay na? So we know that, you should know this one here. Pi equal to 180 degrees. Pi radians equal to 180 degrees. So we are going to convert these angles into pi. So this is a right angle here, right angle triangle. You know that one very well. So it is a 90 degrees. And remaining sum of the angles of the circle is 360 degrees. So what is the remaining angle here? So 90 plus 120. How much? What will get? 210. Okay na? This is total 210. 360 minus 210. How much here? What will get here? 360 minus 210. 360 minus 210 we need to get. So what will get here? 250. This angle is 250. Okay na? So now we got the angles, we got the all the angles here. So 90 degrees, 120 degrees, 250 degrees here. So these are the displacements. This is the distance, and this is the distance, and this is the distance. So we need to find these three distances in terms of pi. So here, as we know that pi equal to 180 degrees. So here, okay friends, finally we got the three angles here. From A to B, theta 1 equal to how much? 90 degrees. And so B to C, theta 2 equal to how much? 120 degrees. And last one, theta 3 equal to how much? 250 degrees. So now we are going to represent this particular angles in terms of pi, in terms of radians. Okay, pi equal to 180 means 90 degrees equal to how much here? Pi by 2. 180 by 2 is nothing but pi by 2. Similarly, what we can write here, 120 equal to 2 pi by 3. You can calculate afterwards. Just you need to substitute instead of pi 180. Simplification will get 120 exactly. And here theta 3, last angle equal to 5 pi by 6. So these are the three angles, required three angles. And finally we got this particular three angles here. So with the help of these three angles, we are going to find the three distances. So A to B is D1, and B to C is D2, and C to A is D3, sorry. So now, so these particular D1. So D1 means what here? It is an arc. This is arc. So we know that arc equal to angle into radius. You should know, you should remember that principle here. Arc equal to angle into radius. So here arc equal to distance here. So what is the angle here? Pi by 2. Radius means how much? Radius is r. We don't know that one. Radius is r. And d1 equal to pi r by 2 here. At the same time, d2 equal to what? Same formula we have to use. Angle is 2 pi by 3 into radius r. Similarly, d3 equal to what here? 5 pi by 6 into r. So in this way we can find out these three distances from A to B as well as B to C and C to A. So d1 equal to pi r by 2, d2 equal to 2 pi r by 3, at the same time d3 equal to 5 pi r by 6. So these are the distances. Why I am doing all these things means we need to find the total time. So we need to find t1, t2, t3. As we know that what here, time equal to distance by velocity. So that principle we have to use here. And the total time here. As we know that time equal to distance by velocity. First we are going to find t1 here. t1. So t1 equal to what here? d1 by s1 speed. Okay. So here d1 equal to how much here? d1 equal to how much? Pi r by 2. Pi r by 2. So what about the speed here from A to B? S. That's it. So this is t1. So similarly we can find t2 equal to d2 by s2. So what about d2 here? 2 pi r by 3. 2 pi r by 3. So what about the speed here? Just you try to observe the speed here. 2s into 2s. Okay na? So here just we will cancel this one. 2 gets cancelled. So remaining term is pi r by 3. Okay. And next similar t3 we need to find. t3 equal to what? d3 by s3. d3 how much here? Pi r by 6 here. This is a denominator side. And what about speed here from C to A? 3s. 3s. So if we simplify this one, what will get? 5 pi r by 6 3 is 18. So 18s. So these are the three times. So from A to B, B to C and C to A. So we need to find total time now. Okay, from this. Based on T1 and T2 and T3, now we are going to find the total time. So here total time equal to T1 plus T2 plus T3. So what is the T1 value? Pi r by 2s. What about T2 here? Pi r by 3s. What about T3? 5 pi r by 18s. So if we do the LCM, what will get here? 2, 3, 6 s is common here. So we'll get 18s. 18s. Okay na? So if we do the LCM here, 2 is there here. 18 we have to get. We need to multiply it with 9. 9 pi r. So here 3 is there. 3 6 is 18. So we need to multiply with 6. So here already 18 is there, we don't need to multiply with anything. Okay, so this is the LCM. So if we add the numerator terms, all the terms, 9 plus 6, 15, 15 plus 5, 20. So remaining is common here, 20 pi r by 18s. 18s. So this is the total time. So in this way we can calculate the total time. So already we know that total distance is circumference 2 pi r. So total time is 25 r by 18s. If we substitute these two values in this particular above problem, we'll get the solution. Okay, let's see that. Speed equals to, so we know that average speed, total distance equal to 2 pi r na? 2 pi r. So what about total time here? What we got here? 20 pi r by 18s. So we need to simplify this one. It is very easy. Pi r gets cancelled first of all. Okay na? So now if we observe these term, so numerator part is what here? 2 by 1. Nothing is there means 1 is there. And what about the denominator part here? 20 by 18s. Okay. So if we rearrange this particular equation, what we can write here? 2 by 1 into 18s will go to upside by 20. Okay na? 2 1s are 2 10s are. Okay. So what is the final value here? 18 by 10. So 18 by 10 means how much? 18 by 10 is 1.8. So 1.8 s. So that is a, what is the value here? Average speed. So that is the average speed here. That is the answer. 1.8 s. S means speed here. That's it. So 1.8 s is the average speed. So that's why this particular problem is very important. I explained different models, different 3 models regarding speed and velocity. Everyone should learn this kind of problems. If you learn this kind of problems, you are going to get so much of information and knowledge regarding the physics. And these kind of problems we can expect in all the competitive exams, like up to IIT JEE and so many competitive exams for IIT students. Okay, no? So this is what I want to convey from this class here. I hope that everyone will like this class here. So that's why what I am saying means, when we are going to watch any video related to my channel and related to the physics, you should watch complete video and thoroughly. Don't skip the video here. Then only you can understand the concept properly. Okay, now once again I am reminding everyone that please watch my channel, and if you really like my video, give the likes. So don't forget to give like here and motivate me by giving the likes. If you find any doubt, put the comment in comment box and share my link of this video to all your friends and ask them to learn the physics. Okay, thank you everyone. Take care of your health. Bye.